Congratulations on the win. What were your thoughts on the match?
Oh, the seesaw of emotion. So it's look, as a coach, you always fear the worst and expect the opposition's best. So and even really they had a big out, Callie. I spoke during the week about my experience at the Dockers when Corey Enright and his mob kicked 23 goals against us in a row when we were a rebuilding team. But we come back round 23, 2018, and Collingwood were a really good team, and we pushed them to 9 points. So I knew what was possible, that it was dangerous. And West Coast started really well out of the middle. Their centre square bounce work, and that's where their experience was. Shuey and Sheed were really good, and obviously Williams' ruck work was strong. They had a couple of cut throughs, and they kicked 3 goals, 2 in the first and 1 in the second. And then really simply we knew they would control the ball if we let them. First quarter they only had 17 marks. Second quarter they had 42, which is really quite embarrassing from our end. So it was a bit frustrating, and just said at half time we just needed to locate and squeeze and get the ball back centre forward. And then they were giving them a spare defender, so we took that away and we squeezed up, and I thought the tide turned. I think we scored quickly. We always looked dangerous when we actually got it in, but they were just walking it out. So, look, after half-time, it was 16 shots to 6, and we have a guy, formerly champion data, and they dive into the stats and they talk about shot equity. It's gone our way and against us during the year. There's times we've won by 30, as on shot equity you should have won by 9, but at the shot equity today, he said you should have won by 40. So I said, I'll let that run up the flagpole at the presser, but it didn't feel like that, that's for sure. So, but then you look at the shots, I think they took their opportunities. They've always been a really good goal kicking team. Look, I'm not here to talk about West Coast really, except to say like Hewitt, who we really admired in the draft, I thought he was fantastic for him, and Jinby was strong. So clearly they got some development. I've been where they are, and there's some green shoots there. And look, I saw Shuey chase down someone against the Swans last week when they were 100 points down. He ran someone down from 30 metres. It was quite inspiring, really. No one really spoke about it, but I'm sure Simpson would have shown that clip. And, as a leader, he's quite inspiring. And I thought, well, there's a heartbeat there. And I thought he led from the front today.
In terms of your message at half-time, how did you deliver it? Did they need a bit of a G?
Yeah, no, Cuddly Ross is still here. I was flat. I just said, you've got to dig yourselves out of it. We just gave them... And we were just playing straight line footy. We didn't shift the ball. So we've got to start shifting the ball, run hard of the space, and we've got to squeeze them up and make them defend. And that's really what happened. It was a bit of a weird game because it was a really high stoppage score. We don't really typically score from stoppage. We're a turnover score team. They haven't been scoring from stoppage. We had 15 shots and they had 10 shots from stoppage. Turnover scores were 4-5, 4-3, so it's a bit weird. I don't really understand why that happened, but in the end we'll take the 4 points. Half-time spoke about wasting 9 months of hard work. I think that hit home because we've been pretty good, but I'm still trying to understand the lack of system and how we want to play in the first half to the second. I still can't get my head around it.
You talk pre-game, and I think to Pav, I won't put words in your mouth, but about trying to find your best football.
Yeah.
Been there for a little while. Is this going to be a hard game to assess if you made inroads to that, or do you have a feeling about where?
Yeah, that's really insightful. We wanted to take the ball off them, not wait to be given the ball. So that's what our best footy looked like. First half we didn't. Second half we did. So we couldn't have kept the message. Everyone felt we had a great week, and we trained the drills. And our ball use, we're aggressive and brave, but there's aggressive and stupid, and we probably sat there in the first half. It's hard to explain, really. We know what it looks like. Second half against the Swans, we dominated contest and ground position. Did it here for periods against Richmond, but we can just have those where I don't recognise what we're trying to do. So somewhere there's a disconnect, and whether it's mental or our training, and we're trying to get back to that, to be honest. Our midfield's spluttering. We're trying to find the combination there. I thought our young guy, Sharman, went back and really, we lost Battle, and then we moved Sinclair. So then you got Windhager, Philippou and Sharman as part of your back six when you're under pressure. So we held our nerve. We kept Sinclair in the midfield, and I thought he was significant. I thought Marshall got going. But we're spluttering through the midfield.
They were pretty efficient in that first half.
Yeah.
Did you feel the stats were like, if we're patient here, it's not that bad?
No, not really. No. They were playing good footy, and we weren't playing very how we wanted to play. Doesn't matter who you are. Like, if you give them time and space, so we just collapsed back. They had 4,200 contested marks. We spoke a little bit about teams that had got hold of them, had really got after them, like Adelaide and Sydney, and we just felt Essendon, even though they got the job done, sat off them like we did in the first half, allowed them under 110 uncontested marks, and we allowed them, 42 in the second quarter alone. So that's how we looked. We didn't like it. If we'd have kept playing like that, we would have lost.
Ross, how do you assess someone like Mitch Owens? I mean, the Eagles have Oscar Allen, and there's a lot of hype about him as a forward and a young forward. You put one yourself that doesn't seem to get the same sort of raps that a lot of others do in the competition.
Yeah, you're West Coast based, aren't you? Yeah, that's why. In Melbourne, he's huge raps. Daniel Hoyne, champion, had him, outside of clearance, the number one forward in the comp for a while. He's come off a little bit. I think that's a little bit to do with an arduous season. And, I thought he really attacks the ball. He's a real competitor, so we value him highly. We think for a second-year player, Oscar Allen's pretty special though, isn't he? But they're different. One's pretty silky and taller, and the other one's a bit more ground level and a bit more powerful, I suppose, a bit more robust.
When you touched base with them and said, look, about 9 months of work that we've done, it would be wasted if we just let this game go today.
Yeah.
What did you see in their eyes at that point in time?
You're never sure. I was really the disappointed father today. I didn't raise my voice. I don't think I've raised my voice at them. And I don't know, it's hard. Some players might say I have, but over the journey, wouldn't be too many times. Sometimes you just got to point out what needs to be done and back in. You appeal to your leaders. I thought Wilkie stood up. I thought Steele got to work. I thought Sinclair. I thought Seb Ross. So you appeal to your leaders, but probably that quick response after half time, we got the scoreboard back pretty quick, helped. And then you're nervous to the end because we kicked 1-6 in the last quarter. So we didn't really have a gap. Even late they had that shot, didn't they? So I'm pretty keen to put it in the bin. Tony, the ground manager, there he is there, said to me, it was a good game to watch, right? So I'm glad Tony's happy. I would have liked it a bit uglier.
Brad Hill, it looked bad initially, but...
Yeah, it did. I think it's just a little tweak. He come back on him, I'm sure he'd be fine. That's what they're saying. It didn't look good. Battle must have been a concussion. He's been important to us. So, yeah, when it's going bad, it goes really bad, doesn't it? Thanks, guys.
Cool. Cheers.